I'd like to use this relatively simple design to demonstrate the value of the fillet tool. I have a single line here and another line running through, another line running through that area there, and the first line I pick runs at an angle. If you go to modify and choose the fillet command, and before you do anything at all, right click and set the radius. If we set the radius at 0, which it is, once that's done we can simply pick this point here and that point there, and you can see the two ends of those lines get joined and we can carry on in that fashion. So it's a very, very handy tool, but you can also do some interesting things with it if you set that fillet radius. If I come over to the left side here, that's a line, here's another line. If we right click and recall the fillet command, but this time we set a radius, we want this corner rounded off. Let's imagine we're working towards a sort of Art Deco type garden. Let's give this a radius of 1 metre and we'll OK that, and we pick, we need to pick past the midpoint, so we click here and there, and in goes the radius. And that's a very quick and easy way to modify this design. We might or might not want to put a radius in this area through here. Let's see, we put in a 1 metre radius. I think if we tried that it would simply fail. We might be able to get away with something like 350, and what we'd like is the radius to come in this way here. We could try recalling it. We could try setting the radius. We'll leave it at a metre. We might be able to get in by doing that. And it's failed. So repeat the fillet command, set the radius, and we'll drop it to say 750 and OK that. Try again. And there we are. We get a relatively nice effect, but we want another fillet in here at that current value. It'll fail. So fillet again. Well, I backtracked a little and gave both these corners in here a radius of 350, and now we have our shape. We can join them together. They have a colour, 122, 159, 55, a set of values for red, green and blue, and we can say we want it closed and we want it filled, and let's give it some smaller transparency. We'll call it 120. It's about half strength green. Well, let's just take a look at what the design might look like when printed onto a white layout sheet, and that's reasonable. We might want to send this grassed area now to the back. We might also want to give it a border, and we'll give it a border colour. I read that this designer wants Corten steel, so let's give it a Corten steel colour, and let's give it a thickness of say 6 mil, and we'll unselect all, and there we have it. I think Corten steel was being used around the borders there, but not where the house was. So we'll pick this and explode it. That'll break that up into its constituent parts, and we can just pick these as that Corten steel colour, and we can give it our line weight. What do we say? 0.4? Maybe not. Perhaps match it to this one, which is 0.6. The whole point of the story, of course, is to show you how easy it is to trim using the fillet option. Let's demonstrate another aspect to the fillet command, which is not immediately obvious. If I have a single entity here, a polyline, and when I select it, you can see there are vertices all the way around the polyline. They're even numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. I can use the fillet command, so it's modify fillet, and you may notice that the prompt says select the first object or polyline vertex. So right click, set the radius, let's make it back to that 1 meter, and now I know that I can just pick that vertex and it will do the job. So you don't have to break a polyline up into its relevant parts before you apply a fillet.